All right, bringing to you today yet another great EDC option in the budget realm. These are the Ontario Knife Company, or OKC, Rat 2. Now I have different options here. I have the AUS 8 version here and here. I have a D2 version. I actually have another one that is also D2. Now, I have 4 total Rat 2s. The reason being is these ones are actually the ones I got for my sons. I have 3 boys. This is my youngest son who tends to lose things, hence orange. My middle son, whose favorite color is green, loves camo. That's why I went with green. And my oldest son, he likes the just straight black. That's why he gets the all black one. Now, these blades were bought for them for Christmas 2 years ago, and they have been utilized, though they don't carry them really because I don't really prefer my young kids to carry them too often. But if we're going outside and campfiring or going on a hike or whatever it may be, they'll have them on them. As you can see, their blades have some use to them, whittling sticks and making spears and, you know, things that kids like to do. Now, there are, again, like I said, 2 different steel options. You have the AUS 8, which is a little easier to sharpen, will also wear down the edge slightly quicker than the D2 steel, which again is a great working steel, but is a little bit harder to sharpen. I got each one of their blades, again, based on color. And now I personally had a brown handled with a silver blade, not the black coated blade. I used mine for probably a year and a half, loved it. It was D2 steel also, really maintained its sharp edge, used it basically every day. I ended up losing it. I do believe it's at my brother's house somewhere, just gotta find it. So it actually prompted me to get another knife, so that's fine with me. I'll find it eventually. I don't really carry it anymore because of other options, but I did carry this for a while. Now this is, again, the Rat 2, which is the smaller version of the Rats. Now, the Rat 1, which I carried this one for a couple years, well, probably a solid year previously as well, in AUS 8. You can see the size difference between the Rat 1 and the Rat 2 is relatively a sizable difference. I keep the Rat 1 now just in my truck as a backup knife in case the one I'm carrying would break, or if I'd forget one or something like that. You can see there's even a little rust on it. I've had this one for a few years. That again is the Rat 1. But the Rat 2, as you can see, it does fit. I can get full 4-finger fit on there. It's really comfortable the way that this groove is here for your index finger to kind of grab onto. It has some jimping here. It's not super aggressive. Your thumb can slip, but it does help when needed. But again, it's a very comfortable knife to hold. I've always liked this. The blade thickness is really 0.095 inches on the blade thickness. You can see that there. It is a 3-inch blade with a closed length of 4.1. So when this is closed, it's 4.1 inches, so it's really small. It does have an ability to change the clip into 4 different positions as well. And the open overall length is 7 inches. So it is not a large knife. It's also not a teeny tiny knife. The blade, again, being a fantastic blade length for everyday carry. It does have just a dual-sided thumb stud, ambidextrous, I guess you could call it, thumb stud, and it does have a liner lock. Now the lockup on these, they have a tiny bit, if you can see there, tiny bit of left to right play, no back and forth play at all. The centering on these blades is, you know, as you can see, nothing to write home about. It is not a very centered blade. It does have steel liners the whole way down. But even though it's not a centered blade, it opens relatively smoothly. You can just flip that. It's not spring assisted at all. You can see I can open here. It's not spring assisted, but it is surprisingly smooth. That's just a very, very easy flick. Again, I got the orange color for my youngest because he loses things and has already left it outside and easily spottable. So that's why I got this one. There's lots of different colors. I think Amazon has them for like 30 to 40 bucks. I believe on OKC's website, they're like 60 bucks. They are made in Taiwan, as it's designated on the back here, and they do have lots of different color options, as well as, again, D2 or AUS-8 steel. Really, again, just the main thing to say is it is a great, again, I'm trying to focus more at this point on budget knives and things that real people with real budgets, you know, maybe they're looking for a decent everyday carry knife. That's something that's like, hey, you know, the ones I've been carrying are kind of junk, Walmart ones. Something a little better. These really are just a little better, decent quality. They do a great job in any task that I've ever had them do. They stay sharp. Again, I really like my D2 steel Rat 2 better than I like my AUS-8 Rat 1. My kids enjoy them because, again, they can put them in their pocket very easily. And I'm a big fan of trying to get my kids things that, you know, they can use and kind of keep for their whole life. So we started off with these ones, and just every year I'm looking to get them either a new knife or some other tool that is going to be a valuable tool for them for their entire life. So I'm obviously going to eventually, as they start getting older, look at getting some better branded knives, you know, looking Benchmade, Spyderco, something of that nature for them. I love having the different color options for the three boys, so I never fail to know whose knife is whose if I find one laying around. In fact, I had to confiscate my youngest son's because he was being careless and actually did very minimally cut himself. So he got that confiscated for a little while until I can really trust that he is going to be a little bit more responsible with a blade. I don't want him getting seriously injured. But again, I've carried this myself for probably a good year and a half. I heavily and highly recommend it on someone on a really sub $40 budget. It is a great option. They lock up well. It's not going to come open on you at all. But again, it flips. It's so very smooth. Let's see if this one has a little bit of blade play too. Tiny, I mean, this one has even less, tiny little bit of blade play. Check the centering on that one. That one is much better. Maybe my son just abused it a little bit. This green one is actually quite nicely centered. I think my middle son has not been abusing that. Let's see the black one here, centered. Yes, well, let's see. A little bit off center, but it's still better than the orange one. Great, easy motion, and even less blade play, just like the green one. So I think maybe my younger son was abusing this a little bit, so that's why, another reason why I confiscated it for right now. He'll get it back. It's got a little bit of a lanyard hole. It's pretty small, but you know, it is usable should you want it to. So that is the Rat 2. Let's see, this is again a used knife. I have not sharpened that, you can see. This is not great paper, but it still maintains a decent edge. Yeah. This is 2 years of use. I would still call that pretty decently sharp. So, hey, if you guys have any questions, leave it in the comment. Otherwise, hey, considering liking and subscribing the video, I appreciate that. But if you're interested, check out Amazon, check out your local store, see if they have the OKC, Ontario Knife Company, Rat 2. Thanks for watching.